So hi everyone, I've printed off the book. I've got a very nice perfect binding machine which allowed me to create some samples of what it would look like. There's about 50 pages missing from this, so the book will be a little bit thicker when it's released, and probably a little bit sort of thinner in this direction since it's a 5" by 8" book. But I thought I'd give you a sneak peek as to what's going on inside it. There's the back of it. Let's have a look. So we can start from the back. This section here is all the questions that were asked by Facebook fans. So there's about 3 or 4 pages of that. It's very windy out here. There's a section on rider biomechanics written by Mary Wanless. We have a whole section on confidence, which was written by Joe Cooper, which is really great. This section is a section on review, so we talk about, arena mirrors, riding journals, coaches, videos, spreadsheets, and so on, and how you can actually go about reviewing your results. There's a whole section on schooling, on planning your schooling, on practice, on what practice is and isn't. You can see there's a section on boredom, what's going on inside your head. There's some next steps to take in training, choosing not to practice perfectly. Then we go on to understanding, and we can actually see it talks about the scales of training, judges' comments, the purpose of tests. I also cover some of the basic mistakes that people actually make. And there's a section on fluidity, so Demel Zahor was able to do a section for us. Then after fluidity, we actually move into a section on accuracy, and you can actually see it's designed so that we can talk about it on the left-hand side and show the diagram on the right-hand side, and that's kind of goes all the way through. Remembering, of course, there are about sort of 20-odd pages of diagrams still to go in here, where I talk about the 20 by 60 arena as well. And there you go. So let's just quickly read a section for you. I think I'll read section 79. Choosing not to practice perfectly. Sometimes we just have to accept the inevitable, that we can't fix everything at once, be this due to our skill level or because the protective patterns the horse presents to you are too intractable. This can happen when we get a horse to ride which is habituated to certain patterns, a horse that hollows all the time or rushes in its paces, or who is incredibly lazy. Sometimes we have to choose to work on the worst problem and forget about some other problems for the time being. Deliberately choosing to abandon efforts in some areas in order to fix a bigger problem can feel very weird, especially when you are used to being able to handle multiple problems at once. When I school, I can usually hold and track quite a few things at a time: rhythm, impulsion, feel of the horse's back lifted, elastic contact, and so on, and I can correct these things in real time. But there comes a point when either your skill level or the horse's patterns cause you to choose. What then do we drop? What do we focus on instead? To what point in our training level do we retreat? It's very difficult to cover all situations and problematic patterns that the horse can throw at us, so I'll cover some basic scenarios and some choices you can make. You may make less drastic retreats than I would. It depends on your skill level, your confidence, what you want to get out of riding your horse, and so on. For instance, I am quite willing in some cases to retreat all the way back to groundwork and lunging to solve problems. This is because I am patient, but mostly I have the confidence of knowing that from the stage of groundwork and lunging I can make sure progress. I can change the horse's movement patterns without me riding it.